Hello, my name is Rose Sandy, and I love to write suspense thrillers. And I have written about 7 books so far, and I continue writing. It's my passion. And also, I publish other authors, and I work for HarperCollins publishers. So today I'd love to read to you from my book, The Decryptor and the Storm's Eye. And this book is the 4th book in the Decryptor series. It is about a wonderful woman by the name of Carla Cress, who is a museum curator. She works at the British Museum, and that's the day job. But most recently, she has another job, which is working for a spy agency, a secret spy agency called the International Security Task Force. This is a secret agency, and she investigates obviously the criminal as well as the unthinkable. So if you enjoy suspense and a little bit of mystery and some code breaking and gadgets, they might be for you. So today I'm going to read from my book, The Decryptor and the Storm's Eye. It is the 4th book in the Decryptor series, and it follows my character, who is a British museum curator who has some quite interesting gifts when it comes to code breaking, espionage, and physical ability. So she's a no-nonsense gal, and she is fun. And she usually bands with 2 very faithful companions. One is Nash Shields, who is sort of a bit of a love interest, as well as Jack Cleave, who is our technology guy and our expert when it comes to all things technology. So the book starts off with a bit of a mystery. So 4 scientists went away on an island to complete a project. They came from different parts of the world, and they were at the top of their game, and they particularly focused around weather weaponing, and that was about 30 years ago. And then they're on this island in the Pacific, on this sort of a military base, and then something happens. And before you know it, we don't hear word from this island. It is considered abandoned and pretty much dead, and no one's been there since. But then we start in present day, when a signal starts beeping from this island, and it is caught by a few governments. So obviously in steps our curator, Carla Cress. And she has a special way of working with technology, codes, as well as historical codes. So the scene I'm going to read is when she teams up with the daughter of one of the scientists, the Russian scientist, Leontov, who is one of the 4 that has gone missing. They're in St. Petersburg, and they've finally found out where he lived and where his lab was. Okay, so let's dig right into it. Carla pulled off her jacket when they entered the apartment block. Her head tilted as she mentally weighed the evidence Karina was presenting. They approached the security desk, and Karina exchanged a few words with a quiet security man in Russian. The phrases Carla could pick out from her high school Russian made her draw near with interest as he asked them to leave. "These are my friends. I'm here to pick up my father's things. I have a court letter that gives me power of attorney over his property," she said. She pressed the paper up against the security glass for the man to see. He eyed them carefully and took his time with a response. "Iov Leontov has been missing for years. We knew him well here. I'll do my best to help you with anything I can. Iov was highly regarded," the security man said as he stood. They advanced slowly behind the tall man, who had almond-shaped eyes the color of dirt. His chocolate-colored hair was shoulder-length, gelled back in a simple style. "You are Karina Leontov. Your father spoke very highly of you," the security man said. "But he hardly knew me." "You say that you knew my father?" Karina said. He nodded. "Yes, I knew him quite well, as I've said. Carla observed him as he set his key inside the door when they reached the 15th floor. He had more to tell. Carla's lip lifted in a sneer. Something tells me you worked with him. Quite closely. Nash stared at Carla with concentration. Karina continued. Yes, you worked with him, didn't you? Quite well. The man pushed the door open, and they advanced into the vast space. 2 concrete pillars stood on either side of the room. On the far end of the ample office space was a lone desk with a computer and a headset. A second table stood facing the wall with a mechanical and digital equipment that Carla couldn't place. Electrical cords dangled from the edge of the desk. No one had used the counter in a long time. Dust marks had formed a home. Several wastebaskets lined one side of the wall with balled-up papers littering round them, signaling that Eof was a man who went through several drafts. Carla's eyes shifted to the wall. Several pictures, mostly family, lined the area closest to the door. She spotted a picture of Karina, possibly at the age of 8, blowing bubbles in a field. If Karina didn't know her father, he certainly knew about her. There were also several boxes of tissues on the table and a bent oscillating fan. Karina turned, searching the man's deep-set eyes. What exactly did you do for my father? I ran errands for him. He specifically didn't want to hire an assistant. I used to work the late shift, and when it ended, your father would offer me a glass of vodka. Your father was a night owl needing a lot of jobs to be run in the night, so I volunteered. And when I offered my help, I pretty much became his assistant. Carla observed the interchange and shot Jack and Nash quizzical glances before turning back to Karina, who she knew believed the man. Carla kept guard. How long ago was this? Did you get involved in his scientific work? Carla said. Yes. Karina tipped her head back. My father found this, she said, pulling out the Lynx pyramid section. He was studying it carefully, the man said. It's part of a 4-sided structure of which we only have one piece. My friends here are trying to help me come to the bottom of what I have here in my hands. The man glanced at Carla and then at Karina. All I can tell you is your father went crazy working with this thing. How did you get it? It went missing, and then he felt he needed to hire a lawyer to get his work protected. What is it about the code on this that manipulates weather forecasting and weather patterns? Jack said. I can't tell you. Leontov lost all sense of what he was trying to do, and before you knew it, he got obsessed with predictions of all kinds that he shouldn't have been dealing with. Nash studied the room and the equipment, walking over to Eof's bare desk untouched in 27 years. Are there any files, digital, analog, or otherwise, that he left? I believe Karina here has all rights to her father's work. The man shrugged. Of course I'm happy to show you where he secured things, but it was years ago. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you're interested to find out more, do visit me at rosesandy.com. Thank you, and bye-bye now. Stay safe.